Welcome back to your daily QE news briefing. This is Daniel English. FBI agents recently seized phones and an iPad from New York City Mayor Eric Adams as part of an ongoing investigation into his campaign fundraising activities. The seizures occurred after an event on Monday night, marking a significant development in the probe. Mayor Adams, a Democrat, immediately complied with the FBI's request, providing electronic devices for examination. Despite the seizure, Adams has not been accused of any wrongdoing and continues to cooperate with the investigation, according to a statement from his attorney, Boyd Johnson. The device seizures followed federal agents' search of the Brooklyn home of Adams' top campaign fundraiser, Brianna Suggs. This search prompted the mayor to cancel a planned trip to meet with White House officials and return to New York. The investigation's focus and details surrounding Suggs' actions remain undisclosed. Adams, a former police captain, maintained his commitment to cooperation and transparency in the face of the federal investigation. In a statement, he emphasized his expectation that all members of his staff follow the law and fully cooperate with any investigation, asserting that he has nothing to hide. Johnson revealed that after learning of the federal investigation, it was discovered that an individual had acted improperly. In the spirit of transparency and cooperation, this behavior was immediately reported to investigators, though no specific details were provided. The nature of the investigation has not been publicly disclosed by prosecutors. However, a search warrant obtained by the New York Times indicates that authorities are examining whether the Adams campaign conspired with the Turkish government to receive donations from foreign sources funneled through straw donors. In response to questions, Mayor Adams expressed no personal knowledge of improper fundraising and conveyed his lack of personal fear from the investigation. Neither Adams nor Suggs has been publicly accused of any wrongdoing at this point. As the investigation unfolds, the public awaits further details on the allegations and the potential implications for Mayor Eric Adams and his campaign. The mayor's commitment to cooperation and transparency underscores his determination to address the situation responsibly.
In other news, toxic gray smog has enveloped parts of Pakistan and India, leading to the closure of schools and outdoor activities due to severe health concerns. In Lahore, Pakistan, and Delhi, India, concentrations of harmful PM2.5 particles have reached alarming levels, several times higher than the recommended daily maximum. The crisis has prompted a 4-day closure of schools, markets, and parks in Lahore, with residents reporting respiratory problems and advised to wear masks and stay indoors. In Delhi, the world's most polluted city, schools have been shut down until November 18th to mitigate the impact of the hazardous air quality. The public health crisis caused by the toxic smog has persisted for decades in the region, contributing to thousands of premature deaths. In Lahore, the concentration of PM2.5 particles capable of entering the bloodstream approached hazardous levels at 450. Similarly, Delhi's PM2.5 levels were almost 35 times the daily maximum recommended by the World Health Organization. Experts attribute this pollution to the burning of crop residue at the beginning of the winter wheat planting season. Despite efforts to encourage alternative methods and threats of punitive action for defying burning bans, the burning of crop residue, a common practice among farmers, is a major contributor to the smog crisis. In Delhi, this practice typically accounts for 30 to 40% of the pollution during October and November. The resulting smoke exacerbates respiratory problems, and the smog peaks from October to February when colder air traps pollution. Residents are advised to wear face masks continuously when outdoors during this period. Despite these challenges, the burning of crop residue continues, and the situation is expected to worsen over the next 2 months, heightening concerns about air quality and public health.
To Gaza now, the ongoing conflict between Israel and Gaza has reached a critical juncture, drawing increased international attention and condemnation. As the death toll rises and fighting intensifies, pressure is mounting on Israel to take greater measures to protect Palestinian civilians, particularly around hospitals. In the past 5 weeks, the number of Palestinians killed by Israel's bombardment of Gaza has surpassed 11,000, according to Gaza health officials. In response to the conflict, the United States and France are among the nations urging Israel to do more to safeguard Palestinian civilians. The death toll from a Hamas attack on southern Israeli communities on October 7th has been revised down to about 1,200, as reported by Israel's foreign ministry. Despite international concern, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu contends that world leaders should condemn Hamas, not Israel, stating that the crimes committed by Hamas in Gaza could potentially occur anywhere in the world. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, in his strongest comments to date on civilian suffering, expressed concern over the high number of Palestinians killed. While welcoming the 4-hour humanitarian Israeli pauses, he emphasized that more action is needed to protect Gaza's civilians. French President Emmanuel Macron also weighed in, calling on Israel to halt its bombings in Gaza, condemning both Hamas's actions and underscoring Israel's right to protect itself. The conflict has taken a toll on various sectors, with more than 100 United Nations employees reported dead, making it the deadliest conflict ever for the UN in such a short period. The Committee to Protect Journalists confirmed the deaths of at least 40 journalists and media workers, with concerns raised about press freedom in the region. Hospitals in Gaza City have faced intensified attacks, with reports of explosions and gunfire near overcrowded facilities. Al-Barak School, serving as a shelter for those whose homes were destroyed, was hit in Israeli airstrikes, resulting in at least 25 casualties. Israel has claimed that Hamas uses hospital basements for military purposes, potentially compromising their protected status. The international community, represented by the UN and the World Health Organization, has condemned the attacks on hospitals and expressed concerns about the humanitarian challenges facing Gaza. Hospitals, already struggling with shortages of medical supplies, clean water, and fuel, are now further strained, as medical staff are forced to evacuate due to security risks, leaving behind displaced people, patients, and wounded individuals. In response to the crisis, countries like Indonesia and Saudi Arabia have announced initiatives. Indonesia plans to send a hospital ship to the waters near Gaza to assist victims, while Saudi Arabia will host an extraordinary joint Islamic-Arab summit to address the situation in the Palestinian Gaza Strip. As the conflict continues, the international community faces the challenge of finding a diplomatic solution to halt the violence, protect civilians, and address the urgent humanitarian needs arising from the crisis. The complexities of the situation highlight the importance of international cooperation in fostering peace and stability in the region. For more on this topic, Mark Korbach has recently interviewed a person who lives in Egypt part-time. They have chosen to remain anonymous. Here's what they said.
In Egypt, has the government or a major news station tried to switch opinions of people?
As I'm not living in Egypt, I do not have an exact answer, but I do fly there every year, frequently and currently have family there, so based of what I know, no, I would say it depends on the news station. Some will just state what's happening, others would state their own opinion and tell the viewers how horrible it is in Israel and Gaza.
In Egypt, do the majority of people support Israel or Gaza?
I live around 6th of October City. From what my family has heard and from the media, I would say more people support Gaza. There are so many protests over there, and all of my family and friends in Egypt, Lebanon, and Syria have claimed they all support Gaza, and so does their family, and I think it's because most Arabs are really educated about the situation. My dad educated me about this long before the war.
For those who don't know, 6th of October City is a city on the outskirts of Cairo, about 1 hour's drive from Cairo International Airport.
What is your personal opinion and why?
For my personal opinion, I stand with the people of Gaza. I feel horrible for those out there. The reason why is because, to be fair, they don't have an army and Israel is basically controlling them now. Before you judge, I just want to claim I do not support the Hamas at all. None of my family does at all. The people in Gaza are suffering. Their hospitals have been bombed. The main hospital in Gaza was bombed by the entrance.
Our editor didn't understand what they meant by the entrance.
Legit orphanages have been bombed. I would have thought the Jews would have been the last people to do this after the Holocaust.
What was the opinion of the general public in your area before Octa 7th?
Before October 7th, again, because I was educated about it, I already supported Gaza, but I personally believe that more people supported Gaza after realizing what's going on. But I think all the Israelis or anyone that supports them kind of stuck to their opinion.
A quick note, this interview was only grammatically corrected. Any information, whether true or not, is untouched from communication. For actual information regarding this topic, Queye is a good starting point. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.